Hello. Quick word of encouragement for my married people on this morning. I don't profess to be a professor in marriage. I don't profess to have the most perfect marriage. But one thing I do know is that God created me to be a wife. The only thing I ever knew that I wanted to do was to be married, and I wanted to have 10 kids until I had the first child. And I was like, the 10 kid thing is out the window. But eventually I married, and I have a sum total of 10 kids. We were getting ready last week for a marriage workshop at another church, and I began to read and pray about what it is that God would have us to say to the people, to encourage people, because I don't take it lightly. Marriage is truly a ministry. It's a gift, and it's an honor to be married. And child, a bumblebee done flew in. Don't play with me, B. Go on about your business now. But anyway, it's an honor and it's a privilege to be married. And it takes a lot of hard work, a lot of selflessness, a lot of forgiving, a lot of covering one another, and a lot of perseverance. And it also takes long suffering. It takes you to be patient, and it takes you to be kind. It takes you to basically at times crucify your flesh, because a lot of times, I know us women, honey, baby, if we said everything that came to our mind, baby, you'll be walking around here looking like a skeleton, because we can come for you with our words. But it even takes us, sacrificing, not saying everything that you want to say, and how you say it to the person, and tasting your words before you release your words, and thinking about how what you're saying will affect the other person. So, saying all that, God began to minister to me about the purpose of marriage, and how He will link two people up so that His purpose on earth will be fulfilled. He gave me the example of Abraham and Sarah, and how God promised Abraham the son and told him that it was going to come from his wife. However, his wife got weary because she felt like she was too old to birth the promise. So she allowed Abraham to have a relationship with her handmaid, who birthed a son. Okay, the son was birthed, but the son wasn't the promise. So God revisited Abraham and Sarah and reminded them both, opened Sarah's womb, and she was able to give birth to the promise. Saying all that to say, God showed me how no matter what it looked like, no matter what we're going through, my womb has been cultivated to birth out my husband's promises. No one else can birth his promises. Hagar, Hannah, Susan, Lorraine, Shirley, little sister, nobody but me has the capacity to birth what God has placed in him. Nobody but you have the capacity to birth what God has placed in your spouse, your husband's womb. The song say, searched all over, couldn't find nobody greater. You could search all over. You could do all these things, but at the end of the day, Abraham promised, the promised one, the promised seed. He could have slept with all the handmaids, but that wasn't the promise. The promise lay with Sarah. The promise was Sarah's womb. God has uniquely designed my womb, uniquely designed your womb to give birth to your spouse's, your husband's vision. That's what He created us to do. We're carriers. We give birth. We bring things to life. So no matter what's going on, no matter what it looked like, just remember that you have everything that your spouse needs. You got it. It's in you. nobody can beat you doing you. Can nobody, just stop it. Just stop. You're the one that's going to make sure everything that God spoke over his life comes to pass, because that's what he's created us to do. So on today, that's all I really have to say, and I pray that it will help someone and encourage you to not give up. Be encouraged. Girl, you birthed her. That's weird. You birthed her. I like that. But that's what God has placed us here. He gave us a womb so we can give birth. He also even reminded me when I was pregnant with my daughter, Purpose, I couldn't think of a name. And he gave me the name Purpose. So sometimes, when we get really heated and you want to throw in the towel, he reminded me that every time in the Bible when a woman was giving birth, she would give the child a name, a purposeful name. The name meant something, whatever they was going through. So he reminded me that there's purpose in this. Don't throw in the towel. Don't give up. Stay in the race. Get back in the ring, because there's purpose in this. So I just want to encourage you guys on today. Yes, marriage is beautiful. I absolutely love it. It's challenging. And you just got to be in it to win it. I'm in it to win it, and I pray that you guys stay in it to win it. Again, nobody's marriage is perfect. Because none of us are perfect. We're all striving for perfection. So I say that marriages are striving for perfection. Your marriage is striving for perfection. My marriage is striving for perfection. We can encourage one another. There's no need for us to get the green eye and look in on somebody else's relationship. Work what you got. Work your womb. Work the vision. Revisit the vision. And remember how important you are in this. Without you, there's no birthing. You're so important to this marriage. You're so important. You're much needed. So stay in the race. Stay faithful. Stay committed to God. Keep your hand on your husband's hand. Husband, keep your hand on her hand. And let's continue to run this race. So stay encouraged. This is Elect Lady LaShonda Lamb. I don't profess to be, like I said, marriage guru. But I do love the Lord. I love God's people. And I love this union, this ministry that he created when he created man and woman. So I love you on today. And you guys have a blessed day.